Welcome to another episode of Healing Her Halo. I'm your host, Pay Marae, and I'm so excited to share this safe space with you. A space that I created when I needed help back in 2020, where it felt like the world was closing in on me, where it felt like I had problem after problem, chaos after chaos, and my healing journey was non existent. And I needed to create a space of women, other survivors, who understood the struggle but who also knew how to move forward with strength, grace, and beauty from their ashes. Today, we're going to be talking about uncharted territory and what it's like to show up in spaces where you don't yet feel 100% confident you can survive in, but you know deep down you can thrive in, even if you can't see the way 100%. So, tip number one, accept that fear doesn't mean you're in the wrong place. Sometimes we think confidence is supposed to arrive before the assignment, but often purpose introduces itself through uncertainty. And just because something feels unfamiliar, it doesn't mean it's misaligned. Most growth actually happens in spaces where we've never seen ourselves in before. That could be motherhood, healing after trauma, entrepreneurship, loving again after heartbreak, stepping into visibility after being in your hidden season so long. Finally, being healthy, feeling strong, and finally being seen and maybe truly recognized for the light you carry. Fear is often a sign that the moment matters deeply in a place where you want to do better, you want to show up. And for me, that space was the Grammys. I know that sounds crazy, right? But from survivor to survivor, I felt like I was supposed to be in that room. And I remember it like it was yesterday. Walking in, everybody extremely excited and filling up the arena. And I remember seeing people perform, people that I admire, like Jelly Roll, people, amazing artists, just taking the stage, like Diana Ross showing up. But some reason I felt like I belonged to be in that space. That felt good to feel that synergy and alignment in that moment. But at the same time, it brought so much fear because it meant the weight of responsibility that came from recognizing and understanding what I was feeling. It's not just about feeling it and feeling like you're supposed to be in a room, it's navigating the fear, the voice inside that tells you that you're crazy, that you're not supposed to be there because of where you come from, because you don't play any instruments, or because of whatever fear and whatever voice is being created, trying to convince you that you don't belong. Maybe the fear again of being seen and being visible, and the fear of saying that you do have something inside that you want to share with the world. And maybe you want to share it in a big way, like at the Grammys. But again, that sign of fear is just a signal, really, of letting you know that the moment truly matters. And there's a big difference, especially with survivors, we have to know this, with our nervous systems and our emotions and how we handle it. There's a difference between danger, actual threat, and discomfort from growth. We're growing, we're changing, and that could be a little scary, but it's not dangerous. Just because it's new doesn't mean you're in danger. And that's something that we have to remind our nervous system of almost every day, multiple times a day, even. Because your nervous system, it may react to both things the same, the things that actually are dangerous and the things that just are a little fearful because you're fearful of because you've never done it before. And that's the reality. But we have to train our nervous system. And train, I feel like, is a harsh word. We have to guide our nervous system, especially when we're navigating uncharted territory. And number two is stop waiting to feel fully ready. A lot of people delay their next chapter because they think readiness is a feeling instead of a decision. And sometimes courage is simply moving forward when you don't have all the answers, when you don't have it perfectly put together in a bow. Maybe it's a little rocky, maybe it's a little shaky to start, but you got to start somewhere. And this phrase has been coming up a lot for me. The only way to start is where you are. Now, I believe the budgetnista, if you ever seen her or followed her on social media, I got that from her. The only way to start is where you are. And my friend and I love to quote Mariah Carey, wait, just do the best you can with what you have. Do the best you can with what you got. That's what this all is about, especially when navigating new territory and uncharted territory, new spaces. You may not feel ready to launch the business, release the song, start the healing journey, speak publicly, love again, set boundaries, or even apply for that opportunity that you feel strongly about. Clarity comes after you move, not before it. And that's something that we all must get, especially for survivors who are trying so hard on a normal basis to regulate your nervous system when you are navigating uncharted waters and new territory. It can be even more challenging to overcome those fears, to move with those fears and silence them enough or turn down them enough to be able to be productive. So instead of asking, am I ready? Start thinking, am I willing to grow into this? Am I willing to take on the responsibility of building towards this dream that I have? That's a very real question because once you decide that you are, it's already done. When you couple your decision, your declaration with your action, well, you can celebrate in advance because the principles in the Bible say once you said what decree a thing is so, it is. But faith without works is dead. So you're gonna have to move. You're gonna have to move. And number three, ground yourself in evidence, not emotion. Fear is very emotional. It's body blinding. But growth requires evidence. And when fear says you can't do this, you can respond. You can choose to respond with, I've survived hard things before though. And I have to constantly remind myself of this, especially when I start thinking about how difficult something is. You really got to think about all the things you've already survived. And when you are a survivor of some really awful things, you should be the first person that knows that you can overcome anything. You should have a built in superpower of this deep knowing that there's nothing too hard for you to overcome and there's nothing too big that your God can't meet you in. And this is so powerful and I really want you to get this. And if you need help with remembering the things that you've overcome, you can write things down. You can start journaling the things that you've overcome to remember. You can ask your friends, your family, what are some battles that I've survived that I may have forgotten about? What are some prayers that actually came to fruition? What are some doors that I walked through that I may have forgotten that were open for me? Those are the things that you want to remember because those are the glimpses of evidence that you can make it through whatever it is, or you can rise to whatever challenge is being presented in front of you, your history is proof that you can handle unfamiliar seasons. Number four, take small, brave steps instead of trying to conquer everything at once. Who's guilty of that? I know I am. Uncharted territory becomes less terrifying when broken into smaller steps, and sometimes people overwhelm themselves by trying to master the whole future overnight. I'm one of those people. But we gotta slow down. We gotta slow down and take it one step at a time. I actually have this song called Take It One Day at a Time. One day at a time. One day at a time. Just take it one day at a time. Now, y'all, I've been working all day and talking all day, so my voice is a little cracked, but just take it one day at a time. Just one day at a time, because that's all we can really do. Take it one call at a time. Take it one email at a time. Take it one post at a time. One therapy session at a time. One class at a time. Whatever it is, just take it one at a time. Now, number five, remember, new territory often requires a new version of you. This is one of the most challenging things to really accept. In action, in theory, it's easy to understand. Yeah, the old me, I had to let the old me go, and I'm just gonna rise into the new me. But it's such a continuous shedding, and a continuous undoing, and a continuous unlearning, and a continuous untethering until you become the version of you, or at least a fraction of the version of you that is going to be the one, the identity that is going to maintain and operate fully in your new season. But we're constantly evolving, and evolution feels very unfamiliar. And that's something that we're just going to have to get used to. Now, a lot of us sometimes we want to enter into our new season without having to become a new person. But that's the worst thing that you can do is receive a blessing too soon. It's not a gift at all when it's given too soon. In fact, it can become a curse. It can become premature failure that you weren't ready to experience. But I declare that you will enter into the rooms that God has assigned to you as the version of you that you're meant to be, healthier than you've ever been before, wiser than you've ever been before, more disciplined than you've ever been before, willing to be visible more than you ever have before. And now I want you to take that declaration and internalize it, because you'll no longer be the old survival version of yourself. You'll be the beauty from the ashes, navigating in uncharted territory. Now, uncharted territory is actually confirmation that your life is expanding beyond your old limitations. So if you feel yourself being in spaces and places surrounded by people where maybe you didn't think that you deserve to be at this point, or maybe you do deep down feel like you belong to be there, but you have no idea how it's going to happen. Well, my husband actually shared something really good with me, and I have to paraphrase it because he cursed a little bit. But whenever he said, when he was in a situation where he felt like he knew deep down he was supposed to be somewhere, whenever he started to feel even an inkling of being fearful about the weight of what it would mean to navigate in that space, he said, I don't think about the weight or the how, because I know I'll be able to lift it. You've got to know that whatever comes to weigh you down, or whatever challenge that comes your way, you got to know that you'll be able to lift it. You'll be able to rise above it, and you'll be able to conquer whatever it is that's getting in your path. So uncharted territory shouldn't feel dangerous. It can feel daring, deliciously daring, because the other you, the you that you're going to be proud of when you're 80, when you're 90, looking back on your life, you're going to be thanking yourself now, for the you now, for overcoming the fear, for venturing into the uncharted territory. So think about that. What would your future self, 80, 90, 100-year-old you, what would you be thanking yourself for today? Should you decide to press forward past your fear? Maybe the fear isn't telling you to turn around. Maybe the fear is just a reaction, your body's natural reaction to the fact that your life is changing. And maybe this new territory feels unfamiliar because you've never been this free before. You've never been this healed before, this visible, this seen before, or this close to your purpose before. I hope that this episode today puts a spark back into your halo, right where you need it, to ignite the light that's already within you and fan the flame of your spirit. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll see you again very soon. And this has been another episode of Healing Our Healing.